okay, whatever. I didn't think anything about it. Well, I was out with the flu all week. I came back that Friday. I was still so sick. And my boss calls me back into his office and he says, again, did you do this? And I said, yes. And he said, well, you can't do this. And corporate's looking into it. And they said, you're suspended with pay on Monday. And I was like, what? Okay, I understand. And Chris, I truly did not think anything about it. I went home and I was like, okay, sweet. I got a day off. Let's just hang out with my family. And the more I talked to my husband, I was like, am I going to get fired for this? And he was like, no, they're not going to fire you. You are, one of the staples on the show. You've been there for 8 years. People like you, right? And I was like, I think so. I think people like me. I don't know. He says, they're going to tell you to stop doing that. And I was like, okay. And when he said that, my instinct was disappointment because I thought this is my way out. And I hadn't dealt with that feeling or verbalized it.
Welcome to Well Coached, a podcast about how people, sales, profit, and self can transform your business. I'm your host, Chris Weinberg, and I have helped hundreds of entrepreneurs get into their highest productivity zone and become corporate enough to succeed. Let's get into today's episode. Hey team, welcome back to the Well Coached podcast. You are in for a treat today. We have got Nikki Burdine, and if you live in Nashville, you know her already. She's unbelievably dynamic. You've seen her deliver the news. She's won Emmys, representing Tennessee with all kind of grace and intellect and grit. And today, she's going to share the next chapter of what she's up to. She's got a different story, and it's her own story now. After 8 years of anchoring and co-anchoring Good Morning Nashville, she has had an unexpected pivot, which is going to be the best thing ever for her. And now she is building something new. And so we get to talk about that. And the lessons today are going to be like, sometimes you're on a path that you think is going a certain way, and then bam, life hits you right in the face. And generally, if you've got enough grit to get your butt back up, something wonderful is going to happen from that. So we'll be able to talk about grit today, resilience today, transferable skill sets from someone that if you're in the Nashville proper or Tennessee, you're going to be able to relate to this person. She's highly relatable, just super cool person. I am just now, my only relationship with her is through watching her on TV too. So this is super exciting for me to bring it to life here with you guys. So every entrepreneur faces transition. Everybody faces rejection. Everybody faces, what am I supposed to be doing with myself now? And scripts change. And there's a certain body of people out there that can take a punch and get back up and go for it. And there's a certain population out there that gets punched in the face and just keeps laying down. This ain't her. So we're gonna hop into it. So Nikki, welcome.
Thank you. That was a great intro. Well, I'm feeling motivated and inspired already.
Heck yeah, you are. I'm motivated that you're here. I can't wait to get into this. And we talk lots about what you think you're going to do in life is just step one. Mm-hmm. And I like to think of things as like a baseball diamond, right? You've got first base, you're heading to a certain path, you get to first base, now what? How do I get to second? And those routes are always different, right? The game changes and sometimes unexpectedly. And usually when that happens, better things unfold.
100%.
And when I think about your deal and I think about news anchors, you guys and gals are slaves to a schedule. And I don't know how you do it.
And a corporation.
Yeah. And I'm an early riser. I get up early, and you guys have been up a day already before. And I was like, golly, what a grind. And you're going to just blossom in this new gig. And when I was preparing for this, I was thinking you got all this skill set that's really been forced into a certain lane. Mm-hmm. And now that same skill set is going to be able to just flourish in a variety of ways. You've got such great transferable skill sets for us to talk about. So we'll stay in our lanes, guys, of people, sales, profit, and self. I'll start asking you some questions, and here we go.
Well, thank you for saying that.
Okay. Yeah. So the first starts, let's talk about navigating change and a little bit of your coaching business now and some community. You built really deep relationships during journalism, from the producers all the way to your viewers. Mm-hmm. How has your understanding of team changed now that you're on your own?
It's a great question. Because I work in a few different ways. You know, I did TV news for 18 years. Yeah. And your teams are different in TV news because as a reporter, I was usually in the field, one-man banding often, and my team was me.
Yeah.
And that was it. And then when I transitioned to an anchor, my team was everybody in the studio, and then the people in the field, and then the producers, and it is, everybody's a wheel in the cog, right? Trying to make the show happen. And it's a beautiful thing, and I loved it very much. Now my team is much better. It's my family.
Wow.
And they're the best support system ever. And don't get me wrong, the team, my old team, the news, it served me very well. It got me to where I am. You talk about transferable skills. I think it served me very well, and it built me up to this point. And now I'm ready to go fly free and do the things that I'm really meant to do. But I think my version of a team now is just, what serves my family and I, and not what serves others.
Yeah. And the family is Justin?
Yes, Justin.
And Andy?
Andy, yeah, she's 6.
And the doggy?
Yeah, Reggie White.
Where did he get that name?
Reggie White played football at the University of Tennessee.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And he was also a Panther.
Yeah, he was a Panther.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish we had gotten him a little sooner.
I know.
He did well as a Panther, though.
Yes. So he's one of our favorite players. Love him very much. And
that's awesome.
We named our dog after him.
That's pretty loyal. Okay, yeah. So teams change, and you had teams that served you well while you were at the news station, and now a new season, so that team retracts. And how beautiful to be able to say that my family is my team. That is not always the case. And,
True.
And as folks jump off the pier and become entrepreneurs, that can be very scary.
Yeah.
That can be very scary, not only for the person jumping, but scary for the family around. And so sometimes they don't know how to support or may accidentally try to sabotage it, and it sounds like that is not the case for you. So
it was, I'm not going to lie and say it wasn't scary. It was scary because right when I got fired, my first thought was, am I putting my family, my team, in a tough position? And so, the first person I talked to was my husband. He said, we're good. We're going to get through. I support you. You're fine. Yeah. I'm not worried about you.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, good. I called my dad, my mom. You're fine. Let's go. Let's do this. I can't wait to see what you do next.
Great.
And I am so fortunate to be surrounded by so many people who just said, you're fine. Like, let's go.
That's amazing. And I guess out there, team, the lesson there is if you're starting your journey, it is okay to be nervous and scared. That's just part of it. Nervous people generally perform better as long as it's not paralyzing. Mm-hmm. And if you've got folks that support you on your journey of jumping off the pier, that's great. Stick around those. If you've got people that are trying to be detractors, cut them out.
Cut them out. You do not need them.
You do not need anchors, right? No. When you're trying to fly, the last thing you need is an anchor of your dreams.
True.
And even folks that are detractors, usually it's their own fear. They're not betting on you. They're not betting on themselves, and so they're transposing that fear onto you, and you just don't have time for that.
Or they're an inferiority complex.
That's right.
That you're doing something that they wish they could do.
Yeah.
And you're doing it. Yeah.
You've got a pretty robust history here. Are there any lessons that you've learned from either a great mentor or a coach during your TV time? What are some cool things that you've learned?
Oh my gosh. So I that's one of the things I loved about that job so much is I came into contact with so many people from all different walks of life that I probably never would have, right? Like people we have nothing in common with. And not only did I get to form relationships with them, but I got to interview them. Sometimes they told me some of their darkest days, some of their hardest days, some of their best days, and they trusted me with that story. So that was the best part about that job was the people. And one of the people who I probably never would have come into contact with was Bob Schieffer. You probably know who he is. He's a legend in TV news. He anchored Face the Nation for a very long time. And before I got into TV news, I was working for the Washington Commanders, formerly the Washington Redskins football team. I was doing marketing for their radio station.
Okay.
And I obviously didn't want to do that for the rest of my life. I was glorified receptionist, sales, like kind of running the board, doing a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
But I knew that it would get me to where I was going. I knew that I would eventually get there. But I'm working the front desk, and Bob Schieffer comes in. He's going to go be on the John Riggins show, who was a quarterback for the Redskins back in the day. And all the sports guys, they usually have sports guys coming in to do the podcast, to do their radio show. And I see Bob Schieffer come in. And the news geek that I am, I'm like, oh my gosh, that is Bob Schieffer. And everybody's like, yeah, he's the guy in the news. He's great. I'm like, no, you don't understand. Like, that's my guy. That's what I want to do. And so I go up to Bob and I said, Bob, I want to do what you do. And he said, well, what are you doing here? And I said, well, you have all these excuses. I don't know this. He said, come by the studio, 2020 M Street, and let's talk. And I did.
Wow.
And I watched a taping of Face the Nation. And then afterwards, we sat in his office and he got to know me. He gave me some great advice about how to get my foot in the door, how to get a resume tape going. And I did all the work. I did all that. I went out there. I took his advice. I got my resume tape. I created a binder and I sent it out to like 75 stations across the country.
Okay.
And nobody called me. Not a single one. And so I'm thinking, like 4 months goes by at this point. And I'm thinking, I guess it's just not for me. But then I think, I'm going to call Bob, ask him for his advice. And he said, well, who have you called and where do you really want to go? And I told him. And he said, I wanted to go to Hagerstown, Maryland, because my now husband, then boyfriend, was in D.C. I wanted to be close to him. And he said, I'm going to pick up the phone and I'm going to call. And he did. And they said, do you have Nikki Burdine? Back then it was VHS tapes. He said, do you have Nikki Burdine's VHS tape there? And he said, oh, yeah, it's right here at the bottom of the pile. I haven't looked at it yet. I hadn't even seen it.
Wow.
Picked it up. He watched the tape, got me an interview, and I got the job. So the lesson, long answer to your question, but the lesson was to have a mentor.
Yeah. Because
at that point, if Bob had not taken the time out of his very busy schedule that he did not have to do that to mentor me, would I have continued down that path? I don't know. Yeah. Would I have ended up in Hagerstown, where I could then be close to my future spouse, where I could pursue my dream of being in TV news, had he not taken the time to be a mentor? I don't know. So I'm forever grateful for him because he changed the trajectory of my life. And I tried to be that mentor as well. I'm no Bob Schieffer, but everybody needs somebody.
Everybody needs somebody. And I think maybe a lesson there too is people like to help other people.
Totally.
But you've got to let them know that you need the help.
I couldn't agree more. And that's the advice I tell a lot of young students. I say, people want to help you. Especially we love talking about ourselves. Yeah. Everyone loves to brag about themselves and talk about things that they've done. So if you find somebody that you really admire, reach out to them and say, hey, I want to learn from you. Even if it's just via email, even if it's FaceTime, right, or if you can take them to coffee. Yeah. Respect their time and know that they're very busy, but reach out to people. Most people will say, yeah, I'd love to help. Yeah. You got to just have enough gumption to do that and not. And people respect the gumption. People respect the gumption. Bob, you called him a second time. You did, yeah. And I still talked to him. That triggered action for him because you showed him how committed you were. Exactly, yeah. You're doing Leadership Tennessee now. I did. We just finished the program. How's that going? And what have you learned about, how has that impacted your view of leadership? Well, I loved the experience. It was so valuable to me. And I got admitted into Leadership Tennessee when I was in the news. And probably got that position because of my job as the news. But I got fired in the middle of the Leadership Tennessee. It's a year-long program. And I'm thinking, I called the program director. I'm like, so you need to know this is going to be in the Tennessean. Like, I'm no longer in news. Do y'all still want me? And they were like, absolutely. Like, we still want you. Yes, you have valuable, like you said, skills and information. So it was wonderful. But then as I'm going through the program, I'm thinking, my gosh, God knew what he was doing, didn't he? Because he put me in Leadership Tennessee around some of the most successful, dynamic, inspiring people in our state, some of the best leaders in our state who want to give back and mentor others. And I got fired in the middle of that. Wow. What better place to be surrounded by all of these people when I need them the most. Yes. And they rallied around me and they supported me. They helped me, encouraged me. You got to do this, Nikki. You got to do this. Let me introduce you to this person. Oh, I want to hire you for this. Let's do this. So I learned so much through Leadership Tennessee, but the key takeaway, again, was mentorship and supporting others and then the community that we built around each other. Yeah. Proximity approach matters, doesn't it? Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Boy, that was perfect timing for you. It really was. Yeah. And to think that I was never embarrassed that I was fired. It's almost like. No, you wear like a freaking I love the way you address it. Here's another lesson, guys. If you work for somebody all your life, sooner or later, you're going to get canned. It happens. It happens to the best of us. Things change. People make silly mistakes. Yeah. Leadership changes, direction changes. You cannot take it personal. And as hard as that is, business is business, and which is another reason to go be an entrepreneur and bet on yourself. Yes. Absolutely. That is like exhibit A. It is. Always have your thing going. Yeah. As long as it doesn't interfere with your job or,
That's right.
ethically or anything. Always have your thing going because you never know when you're going to need your thing.
Well, I love the way you own that part of your
Thank
story
you.
because most people don't. Most people get embarrassed or shy or try to, you know what? We all get punched in the face. I mean, everybody gets punched in the face. The key is take it as a blessing, as a thank you, and it allows you to go do your next thing.
Well, I didn't want it to be a thing where, what do I lie about it and say that, am I embarrassed? And then I go out and people are whispering, oh, she got fired. And what do I say? Some like silly lie that, I left, we parted ways. No, that's not the truth.
Right.
And also there's value in learning from what happened to other people.
Yeah.
When I hear other people's stories of hardships or anything, I think, oh my gosh, I can learn from that. So what if somebody can learn from my experience?
Yeah.
Then that's amazing.
Well, it's very impressive.
Thank you.
So well done. So you're a mom now.
Yeah.
How does this motherhood role, has it impacted the way you think about time and team and purpose?
Oh my gosh. It changed everything.
Yeah.
For the best.
It's really a blessing that you got fired.
It is.
It is. Okay, I'm going to shut up. You answer.
It is such a blessing.
Yeah.
So when Andy was born, let me go back. When I was in news for a very long time, and I loved it very much. I loved going out and hustling and stories, holding people accountable, telling the truth, things that matter. I loved going to like the crime scenes and getting to the truth of the matter and telling people what was happening in their communities. The running and gunning, I loved that. The breaking news.
Yeah.
And I came to Nashville, and I still had a little bit of that with me, but then I became a mother, and none of that mattered anymore. And not that it didn't matter in general. Of course it matters. It's important. People need to know what's happening in their community. But my heart was not there anymore. Mm-hmm. I still wanted to tell stories. I still wanted to be, do my job and have a forward-facing position. But I didn't care as much about running and gunning and going out and doing those things. And I'm so thankful that I didn't, because it made me want to be home with Andy more, right? Like I still loved my job. I went in, I did my job, I did it very well. But then I went home. And once I was home, I wasn't doing all of these things, checking breaking news, checking Twitter, doing like I used to.
Right.
Because I wanted to be present for her. I wanted her to see me going to work, but I wanted her to see me coming home and being with her. Mm-hmm. So that's how it changed drastically. And Andy she was born very premature. She was born 3 months early, and she weighed 1 pound when she was born.
Wow.
She's a literal miracle.
Wow. She's
perfectly fine now. She's feisty little pistol, little Spitfire. But that, teaches you what matters in life, right? When somebody you love so much, when your heart is outside your body and you are faced with something like that, it teaches you what really matters, So I excuse me, I kept working, through that. And then it's like when I got fired, of course the jump was scary, but then I thought, God, I get to be here with my daughter. I get to put her to bed at night. Mm-hmm. I was going to bed at 6:30 p.m., 7 p.m., and she was up till 8. So my husband was putting her to bed, and it was really fortunate that he could do that. And it worked out logistically for us. But I was missing a lot.
Yeah. Wow.
Does that answer your question?
It did.
I kind of went on a
No, that was fantastic.
Zigzag. I do that sometimes. I told you I'm not good at being interviewed.
Are you kidding? You have built and continue to build a really personal brand. And how do you set boundaries when so much of that business is you?
That is a great question. It is hard. And I'm still learning, especially with showing my child on social media. That's really scary for me. But Andy's story was so inspiring and so public to so many. And when I had her so early, I was at work one day and I was gone the next, and people said, where's Nikki? Oh, she had a baby. Mm-hmm. She's not supposed to have this baby early. So I felt the community rally around and support me and pray for me. I still get messages from people. I can't believe she's 6. I remember praying for her when you had her. And so I feel like people, they love her story. She's a miracle and they want to see that. So I want to share that. But I'm also trying to understand that she's a little person.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to know that she's maybe doesn't want to be on my social media. Right. Yes, she's only 6, but is she going to look back at anything that I post now and be embarrassed by that? And there's also dangers associated with
yes
that.
Yes is the answer to that.
Yeah, yes.
We're supposed to embarrass our kids to some degree.
So to answer your question, I'm still trying to figure out my boundaries. I do a little bit of everything. I show a little bit of Andy, but then I also realize that it's my brand. It's not her brand. It's my brand. So I try to share things, but if I'm not feeling inspired, if I'm not feeling like sharing something that I don't.
Yeah.
Then I don't, because then it's not authentic. And to me, the most important part about social media, and the reason I follow certain creators and certain people, is because they're authentic.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's not authentic, then I'm not interested.
Right.
I don't want you to.
And it's pretty easy to see, isn't it?
I think it is. Yeah. And that's why I try to stay true to that. If I'm not feeling something, I'm not going to post it. I'm not going to do it because it doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel authentic. And people know that. So boundaries are hard. I try to, when I'm with her, I'm trying not to do this because I don't want her to teach bad habits, like looking at my phone and doing things. I'm trying to be present in the moment, but it certainly is hard.
Yeah.
So yeah, there are days when you just don't want to show up on camera. But then I also had to do that in news for so long,
right.
you know, and when Andy was in the NICU, I came off of maternity leave and I went back to work because I didn't want to spend my whole maternity leave with her in the hospital. And then she came home from the hospital and I had to go back to work, right? The important part is to bond with your child when you're home. And so she stayed in the hospital after I physically healed from the C-section, and I came back to work. And I didn't
How long
always.
Was she in?
She was in the NICU for 71 days.
Oh my gosh.
So for the first 8 weeks, she stayed in the NICU and I was home healing. And then I went back to work and she stayed in the NICU. But I would go to work, do the morning show, 4 to 7 a.m., and my company was gracious enough to let me leave halfway through my day, and then I would go spend the rest of the day at the NICU, which was a wonderful blessing to have. But there were days when I didn't want to go in at 3 a.m. Right. I wanted to go straight to the NICU with my daughter. You know, something scary happened. I didn't want to show up on TV and smile. I wanted to go be with her. But you just sometimes have to do what you have to do.
Yeah. We do the best we can.
We do the best we can.
Hey team, are you looking to elevate your golf game year-round? Nashville City Golf, located within the Nashville City Club at 200 2nd Avenue South, offers a premier indoor golfing experience right in the heart of downtown. With over 350 real-world courses available on state-of-the-art TrackMan.io simulators, you can challenge yourself on some of the world's most renowned fairways without leaving the city. Whether you're a seasoned golfer or just starting out, our facility caters to all skill levels. Features of the club include TrackMan.io performance tracking, an adjustable swing stage, indoor putting, and great upscale lounge and food and beverage, as well as PGA instruction right on site. Nashville City Golf isn't just about swinging a club, it's about experiencing a revolution in golf practice and entertainment. Our cutting-edge features elevate your game and create an unforgettable experience. We offer flexible membership options to suit your needs, as well as booking for an individual sessions. Ready to tee off? Visit NashvilleCityGolf.com to learn more about memberships, book a session, or schedule a lesson with one of our PGA instructors. Elevate your game at Nashville City Golf, where the best of golf meets the best of Nashville. We'll change gears here a little bit and talk about the selling part of the business. So oftentimes entrepreneurs struggle with selling themselves.
Yes.
And how does your background as that journalist prepare you for pitching your own brand and partnerships and offerings? And you got a head start over most people. So.
Yeah. I think I don't know why I did this, but in the very beginning of TV news, I was in Hagerstown, Maryland. I was making zero money, but I knew that part of my job was to be on camera, right? And yes, people care about what I was saying and the words I was saying, but they also let you into their home, and it's your face that they see. So I recognized very early on that I was also part of their lives.
Yeah,
because I showed up
you're
every
the
day.
Trusted advisor.
Right.
You become you news people.
Yeah.
The people have such people have such brand loyalty to who they're turning on the TV for.
And it's such an honor when they do.
Yeah.
They have a lot of choices. So I noticed very early on that I could control that. And anytime there was a social media outlet, I remember when Twitter started, I was one of the first people to sign up. I was like, let's do this. I can share the news that I want to share. I can share my stories. And I also saw it as a way to progress my career.
Okay.
You know, what if somebody out there sees a story that I do? They don't live in my viewing area, but they see something that I posted on Twitter. When Instagram started, I was one of the first people to do it. And I saw it as a business venture. I didn't see it as like a personal thing. I saw it as a way to share my brand, my name, and my work and just show it off. I saw it as an online portfolio.
Right.
And so I kind of got an early start on that, and I've always kept it that way, and it's just steadily grown.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Thank you.
You've transitioned into content creation and
Yeah.
brand collaboration. And how do you decide who you want to work with and who you want to align with? What are your thought processes around that?
Yeah, it's a good question. I'm still kind of new into the content creation because I didn't do that when I was in news. But really, I'm really and truly, if a brand approaches me and I don't align with something, then I'm just not going to do it.
Okay.
I haven't had that problem yet.
Okay.
Everybody that I've been approached by has been something, oh, no, I used that already, or I wanted to try that.
Okay.
Dove soap. They
Yeah.
reached out and I did a collaboration with them, and it was for Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Awesome. Wow.
Done and done. I love Dove soap. I love Big Brothers Big Sisters. I can promote that all day long. I have another partnership coming up with Grunt's gummies. It's a vitamin supplement, and yes, I already eat those. Absolutely, let's do that.
Yeah.
So if it's natural, if it makes sense, I'm going to do it. If it doesn't, then, I probably won't.
Yeah.
And I'm in a fortunate position to be able to turn those down. But I also think that shows up long term and people recognize that. Because if you just start hawking things and slapping your name to anything because they're paying you, eventually people are going to get the ick and they're not going to want to stick around, I get the ick when some people are. I'm like, do you really do that? You don't. I know you. You are not really doing that.
How about I guess part of your choosing correctly is also probably how you build and maintain trust.
Yeah.
While at the same time monetizing your platform.
Right.
Yeah, I bet you have a lot of folks that have transitioned and they're just following you from watching you on TV over to your socials and things like that. And
I hope so.
They got to recognize that you're still the same person and all that. So that choosing carefully is a big deal.
The response has been wonderful. Most people, and they have verbalized that. They've said, I trusted you to tell me the news every morning, like some really, really bad stuff and then some really good stuff and what was happening in our community. So it's natural for me to go to you for advice for what skincare I should use or where I should get the blender in my kitchen or something. So it's all about me sharing things authentically that I already do. I've always kind of been the girlfriend that people go to. Hey, Nikki, where do I take my kids for this? Where's the best restaurant? Hey, what flower shop do you use? What's the best one? What do you put in your coffee? Where did you get that blazer? That lipstick you wore the other day? I loved it. I've always loved being that person.
Okay.
Which I think makes sense because I was on the news and I like to tell people things. I like to be the center of attention.
Yeah.
So it is kind of a natural thing to just be that kind of source of information. Now it was a source of, daily news and sometimes really hard stories. And now it's a source of a lot of sometimes frivolous, but
joy. Yeah. You're doing joy but practical at the same time.
Yes. Yeah. And that's where I am in my life now. I don't want to talk about homicides and horrible things happening.
Yeah.
It's still important to know, but I don't want to do that.
It doesn't have to be you sharing that.
Yeah.
It can be somebody else for sure. In your opinion, what makes a story or a post truly connect with an audience?
On social media?
Yeah. Or TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my opinion for TV is probably different than my boss's. What I always enjoyed is...
Wait, you don't have a boss?
My former boss. Wait, thank you. Good correction. My thing with TV news, I love the stories that were people forward, that started with a person, an issue, something that happened in their life, and then you develop it into the big story. So, this one person is dealing with this, but it's actually a bigger problem that he's just the face of that and more people are dealing with that. So I like to start the story with that person that we can all relate to and understand. And that's the character in the story and they're sharing their life. And then you see the rest of it. And then that solves a problem.
Okay.
So that's how I approached most of my stories in news was people first.
Okay.
Now I guess I'm the people first. It's me showing up on camera and being honest and letting people be a part of my life. So I think those are the most successful ones. It's just being relatable and normal. I always tell people, like, when I coach people to be on camera, I say just be normal. Just be you, right? Like, people love you because of you. Right. So just do that. Don't change that just because you have a camera in front of you. So I think that is probably
that's probably where people get goofy when they try to be something that you're not. Right?
Yes. I had my very first job. I was anchoring one of my first newscasts and I stumbled through a script. It was so bad. And I beat myself up. My news director came in afterwards and he said, "Are you okay?" And I was like, I messed up that script and I just kept stumbling over everything. And I just couldn't get my footing right. I just kept stumbling. And he said, so? And I said, what do you mean? I said, that was terrible. It was so embarrassing. He said, how many times when you're talking to people, do they say the word or do they stutter, or do they use their hands, or do they say something funny or weird or forget their train of thought? I say, all the time. And he said, okay, you're a human. That's normal. Now, if you can't get through a script every day, and you're not good at your job, then we need to talk. But be normal. People watch you because you're a normal person and they can relate to you. They don't watch you because you're a robot.
Right.
We can hire a robot. We don't want that.
Yeah.
So that's what I tell people. It's
that was good advice.
Just be normal.
Yeah.
Just be normal. And most people have compassion for our little humanisms.
Yeah. That's good. You were lucky to have that news director.
I was. And it gave me the confidence to shake off things,
What's something about your young entrepreneurship journey that has surprised you?
Oh my gosh. I need a lot of help.
It's good to recognize that.
I need a lot of help. I've never been good with money or things like that. I'm a creative. I'm a storyteller. My husband is, thank God. He's very good at this. He is the business-minded person, and he is the yin to my yang.
Good.
But all of the things that come along with it. I'm an idea person. I'm like, I want to do this, so let's just do it. And my husband's like, no. Let's come up with a business plan. Let's come up with this. And I'm like, I don't know how to do this. What do you mean a business plan?
And not even interested in it.
What is a business? I don't know
right.
what you mean. What is a business plan? And so I'm Googling how to do a business plan. And it's very overwhelming.
Yeah.
And it's been hard to kind of get to the micro level of what I want to do instead of just saying, it's just too much work. I just want to do it. I want somebody else to do all the minutia for me so I can just do it. But I need to know how to do all the little things. And that's been hard.
And team, there's another lesson out there, right? I'm paraphrasing, but I heard the word, I want to be creative. And we talk about the 4 lanes of people, selves, profit, self. Nobody is naturally good at all 4. Most of us are good at 1 or 2. We use an assessment here called the DISC profile. I don't know if you've ever taken it or not. But guys and gals, any guesses on what she would be? She's going to be an off-the-chart high I, right? She sees big picture, wants to do the big thing, highly creative. And really the numbers and the detail part don't mean a thing to you.
No.
That's how you start building a team, though, right? So somebody needs to be that person. And right now it sounds like it's your husband, which is great.
Unfortunately for him.
Well, I'm sure he considers it a blessing.
Maybe some days more than others, Chris.
Maybe he just didn't verbalize it the right way. Yeah. But no one is supposed to be great at everything.
Yeah.
And my hope for you is that you never get great at the numbers part, but you've got somebody that is.
Thank
you. So that you can just fly and do your thing. But you need someone around you saying, left turn, right turn, watch out, there's a cliff over there. And it sounds like you kind of got that built in. But don't feel goofy. And this is for everybody. Don't feel goofy that you don't know everything. Everyone's got unique skill sets. Everybody does. Right. And most of our unique skill sets are monetizable if you've got people around you that can cover the other sides that you really don't need to be paying attention to.
Right. Because I don't thrive in that. So why would I be an imposter in something that I'm not good at? And,
we talk a lot here about it's always better to make something you're good at even better versus making something you're bad at good. It's a much harder route. It's a much harder route to take something you just suck at. Yes, if you and I went to spreadsheet school.
Oh God.
Yeah, but the thing is,
anxiety.
We would muscle our way through the semester, right? And you would get incrementally better at spreadsheet. Still going to suck at it, but you know a little bit. Where instead, if I said, let's go to communication class, let's go to the big idea class, exponentially, you just get better, because you've got that passion for it and the natural skill set. So I think, the lesson there, guys, is that whenever you jump off the pier and go do your own thing, you're going to have blind spots, man. You're going to have so many blind spots, but you just go do it. Just go do your thing. And as your asset base starts growing, then you start bringing in people to kind of help you. And sometimes that's a spouse.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a brother, sometimes an aunt or uncle or whatever, but everybody's got to start somewhere. The key is to get champions around you who are better at something than you are.
Yes. And that's one of the biggest things I've learned is outsourcing is okay.
Yes.
Especially if it's somebody that you trust.
Right.
And even if you just want them to show you what to do so you can get it off the ground and then you bring them in when you can spend the money on that.
That's
but
right.
It's been I just finally hired somebody to do my books and everything.
Great.
Because it was a
great move.
Absolute disaster.
Yeah.
And that was my husband's idea. He was like, Nikki, we have taxes coming up. And what are you doing? I was like, I have no idea.
Yeah.
No idea.
Yeah, and that's normal, right? Entrepreneurs, that's normal. When you start your business, you're not thinking, man, and I can't wait to do accounting, because you're not an accountant, right? And so, and plus in the beginning, if you're not making any money, you don't need it. And then all of a sudden money starts coming in and you're like, what am I supposed to do with this? So good on y'all for getting that settled early.
Well, hopefully.
I work with tons of entrepreneurs that wait years to start paying attention to that. And so it just becomes a really big mess.
Yeah.
And even having somebody early is a big deal.
Yes.
So good. So around financial structures or habits, are you developing those skills, or is Justin just making sure that we're good?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
So I hired somebody to handle or just get my book started.
Okay, great.
And they offer a tutoring program.
Okay.
Which is really nice.
Okay.
So I want them to do the bulk of it. I want them to get me kind of to ground zero.
Yeah.
And then say, okay, when this happens, you do this. When this happens, you do this. So if I have like a set parameter of like, this is what I do, I don't have to figure it out, then I can do it.
Okay.
Right. So that's kind of my plan right now.
Okay.
I'm learning from them. They're getting it to ground zero. I'm learning from them. And then my husband's just going to hold me accountable.
Yeah. And then your business verticals now are, let's talk about that. You've got the podcast, you've got the book, you've got the coaching going on. Walk us through the things you're up to.
Okay. So yes, I wrote a children's book.
Yeah.
I wrote that with my dad, and I still sell copies of that. And I would like to do more of that. I would like to get that into more schools, because that was probably one of the greatest joys I've had, was we had a sponsor come forward and purchase a bunch, and we donated them to every single kid in the second grade in East Tennessee schools from Greenville and East. There were 5,000 students.
Wow.
It was incredible. We walked in and surprised these kids. It was a great model for this business, because each book had a sticker on the inside that said donated by this business. And then I talked about it on social media. So it was I think there's something there to make this a business. You know, if a business really cares about literacy and wants to have a nonprofit arm where they do something, and like, let me do that and we can help get publicity for it. So that's one side of it. I also have these T-shirts that my dad and I created called Knuckleheads. All boys are knuckleheads except for my daddy, that we used to say when I was a kid, my sisters and I. And that was kind of just like a fun little thing that I've always wanted to do. I always wanted to have my own line, my own merch. And I don't dedicate a lot of time to it, but I would like to pursue that more. That's also on my website. And then I have a company where I train people how to speak on camera and how to get media coaching, how to get media presence, how to deal with the media when they reach out to you. And I've trained a couple of groups, a couple of presidents of universities and some CEOs, and it's been really fun. Yeah. And I have the podcast, Not the News, with my former co-anchor, Neil, and that is fun. It's been...
Are you having a good time with that?
It is. I love, being able to talk to people. Like I told you, the reason I initially got into this was to tell people stories and to meet people that I might not otherwise meet. And that's been a good way to scratch that itch.
Are you guys doing that podcast weekly, or what's your rhythm with
weekly?
It?
We took a break this week because we're working on something else. But we're doing it weekly since I left the news.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then the last thing I'm doing is content creation. So I'm working with brands and businesses and influencing.
How are you working that part of your business? Are you doing it on your own, or you got
I have an agent.
Okay, great.
Yeah, and she's been great. And that was another thing that I outsourced because I was pitching myself.
Yeah.
But that's time consuming.
Time consuming. Yeah. That's not your highest productivity zone.
It's not. Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
And yes, I have to give my agent a cut, but she works her butt
worth
off
every
for
penny
it.
of it.
Worth it. Because she's getting me deals that I did not have the relationships to get on my own.
I want to add something here, because folks get goofy sometimes about, if I bring on this agent or manager or whomever, they're going to take a percentage of my business. And what I try to say to that is, it is much smarter to have a smaller piece of a bigger pie.
Absolutely.
Right? And so,
I was
good agents, good managers, good whomever. You get the right people. You want them to make a lot of money.
Absolutely. But make sure that your agent, your support, whoever you hire, is doing a good job.
Yes.
I have had, when I was in TV news, I had an agent. I've had many good agents, but then I had one agent who was not doing anything. And he was taking like 7% of my salary.
Yeah.
And thankfully we parted ways. It was good. No harm, no foul. But that was not worth it. Alden, If Management is worth it because she is hustling her butt off for me. She is getting me deals. And she's also been a great sounding board for me because I am new to this world.
Yeah. That's Fantastic.
Make sure they're worth it, though.
Make sure they're worth it.
Yeah.
Right. But if they are, don't get mad at them for making money.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Hey, team, are you looking to elevate your professional and personal life in the heart of Nashville? Well, since 1957, the Nashville City Club has been the city's premier private membership club, offering an exceptional experience in fine dining, networking, and memorable events. As a member, you'll enjoy top-tier networking opportunities, business development events, mentoring programs, social mixers, and signature holiday celebrations. The club's private dining room serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner in a professional yet relaxed environment featuring menus crafted by Nashville's top culinary professionals. Members enjoy personalized concierge services, including bookings for concerts, events, sports, and dining reservations. Additionally, the club offers discounted private event spaces for personal and professional gatherings, accommodating over 200 guests at a time. We are located at 200 South 2nd Avenue. The Nashville City Club provides a versatile environment that serves as both a home away from home and an extension of your office. The warmth of the staff, the energy of the city, and the pride of the community are felt instantly upon arriving. Join us for this thriving community of Nashville's most respected and accomplished citizens. Apply for membership today and experience the unparalleled benefits the Nashville City Club has to offer. For more information or to start your application, visit nashvillecity.com or email info@nashvillecity.com. Let's talk about, okay, you got let go without warning right after signing a big new contract. Mm-hmm. Walk us through how you processed that moment. Like when it happened, how did that impact happen? And then how did you process your way through it? And I want to start with the compliment. Again, that we talked about. I think, and I don't even know you yet. And you've handled that like a textbook.
Thank you.
I mean, you have owned it. You've handled it the way a coach would coach you to handle it.
Thank you.
So you definitely have the chops to be telling people how they should show up in front of others.
Thank you for saying that.
And you've modeled it. I mean, you've modeled it. So I'll shut up. Tell me, yeah. No. So tell me, it happened. How did you process your way through it?
Yeah, I mean, do you want me to tell you the full story?
Yeah, if you want. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So in TV news and all journalism, there's something called payola plugola. We're not allowed to endorse products or services or anything. Everyone kind of does. Not everyone. A lot of people do it. Mm-hmm. Most people do it. And it's something that TV news has to kind of figure out. And the reason is it started back in the day in radio when, DJs would get paid money to play a certain song on the radio, right? Mm-hmm. And then they wouldn't play other songs so they weren't getting paid. And then we've got politicians that are paying news anchors to give favorable coverage or something, right? That's not good. We don't want that.
Okay.
I never crossed those boundaries. But we all get free things when you go out places.
Yeah.
Whether it's a free game of golf, whether it's, oh my gosh, let me buy your dinner today.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go on social media or you say, oh my gosh, I had the best meal. That is a very natural, organic thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that is problematic. I think it could be, but I understand why that is in contracts to prevent that from happening. I understand. But that's what I did. I posted a link to a perfume that I wear. I'm wearing it right now. It's called Dime Beauty. It's one of my favorite perfumes. And I posted a link and I said, you can use my discount code. And somebody took a screenshot of it, sent it to my boss, called me into their office. It wasn't even a thought to me because so many people that I had worked with had done similar and were doing similar things. So I just thought, as long as I'm not being a jerk about it, and if they don't like it, then they're going to tell me. Well, I got called into their office. Did you do this? Yes. You can't do this? Okay. We'll get back to you. We got to talk to corporate. And I was like, okay, whatever. I didn't think anything about it. I was out with the flu all week. I came back that Friday. I was still so sick. And my boss calls me back into his office and he says, again, did you do this? And I said, yes. And he said, well, you can't do this. And corporate's looking into it. And they said, you're suspended with pay on Monday. And I was like, what? So-and-so just did this. And they didn't get suspended or in trouble. But okay, I understand. And Chris, I truly did not think anything about it. I went home and I was like, okay, sweet. I got a day off. Let's just hang out with my family. And the more I talked to my husband, I was like, am I going to get fired for this? And he was like, no, they're not going to fire you. You are, one of the staples on the show. You've been there for 8 years. People like you, right? And I was like, I think so. I think people like me. I don't know. He says, you're a woman over 40. That's a protected class. You have a disability that's documented within the company. That's a protected class. They're going to tell you to stop doing that. And I was like, okay. And when he said that, my instinct was disappointment, because I thought this is my way out. And I hadn't dealt with that feeling or verbalized it. I had long been thinking, what am I going to do next? I don't want to get up at 2:30 in the morning forever. But I had never faced that and verbalized it, that it was in the near future, or that I wanted a way out. And that feeling kind of sat with me for a second. And I was like, it's not going to happen. Whatever. Problem for future me, right? So I go in there on Monday and they fire me. And honest to God, it was a weight off my shoulders. Don't get me wrong. Like I said earlier, my first thought was, am I putting my family in a tough position? And after I got that support and that encouragement from my husband and from my parents and from the people in my life, then it was relief. And it was, thank you, God, for pushing me when I wasn't ready to jump. So it was also a little bit of an identity crisis, because I've done this for so long, 18 years of my life, being in the news and telling stories. And so that was hard, but I don't feel like that's me anymore. Like I told you earlier, it served me very well, and now it's time to move on.
Yeah, who you are was not defined by you doing that morning show.
Right. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. It was definitely difficult, because when I go places now and people say, what do you do? It was almost like a party trick. I do the morning news. Oh, how cool. You know what they always say? I don't watch the news. Every single person. But that's really cool. And it's always a topic of conversation. It's a party trick.
Yeah.
And I don't have that party trick anymore, but it's okay.
Yeah. I mean, in some ways, your platform's getting bigger, because
I think so
many people don't watch anymore.
I think so. Yeah.
You speak a good deal about your faith being central to your life, and how has that shaped your career pivot? Has faith played a part in your career pivot?
Yeah. God's timing is always right. I can say I want to do something and I can plan for something, but he's going to do what he knows is right for me. Yeah. And I said earlier that I thought about leaving. Oh, in 5 years, maybe I'll talk about it. God knew. God knew. He said, you are ready to do this now. Now is the time to do it. And all these little things that have happened since then, my gosh, thank God I left then. Thank God I'm not there right now. Thank God that he saw that was the time for me to pivot. Because all of these things that I've been able to do, all of the time that I've been able to spend with my family, we moved into a new house, all of the time that I've been able to spend moving into our house and spending it with my family and getting my daughter off to kindergarten, not having to worry about going to bed, and spending the best summer ever with her. Her last summer as a little kid. Right. And it was really special.
God, I hate it when they grow up.
I know.
It's just the worst.
Don't make me cry. I can't do it.
Oh, it's going to be awful.
How old are yours?
Listen to this. I've got a 25-year-old son, 20-year-old son, and a 4-year-old daughter.
No, you do not. You have a baby.
It is the best thing. Oh,
so you get to live it all over again.
I get to live it all over again. It is the best thing.
And it's kind of a blessing, too, because now
it's the best, man. I'm so not intimidated that they're going to bounce.
Yes.
Right? Everything. They're going to get something, and they're going to be okay.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. It is, I'm telling you, I did it kicking and screaming. It's the best thing ever.
I love that.
But enough about me.
No, I love it.
Let's talk about this thing of, you often say the go-to girlfriend, which I love that tag.
Thank you.
Yeah. What does that identity mean to you now? What does that mean?
It means kind of what I've always been doing. When I was in news, when I was with my friends or on social media, people come to me and they say, oh, just ask Nikki. She knows where that is. Or, Nikki, what should I do for this? And I also think it comes from, I'm very open and honest on social media about what I do, where I go, what I use. Here's an example that a lot of women have really responded well with is, I love getting Botox and filler or facials or whatever. Some women don't. Some women don't. That's great. You do you. Yeah. But I hate when people lie and say they don't do things, right? I just think that's dishonest, and it also puts forth like unrealistic goals. And to say that I've never had something done, you're like, oh my gosh, she's 42 years old. She doesn't have a wrinkle. Gosh, what's wrong with me? Well, no, nothing's wrong with you. Right. I chose to get injections into my forehead.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you exactly where I go. This is the best person that I go to, Skin Farm right next door.
Yeah.
And that's who I go to. And so for me, it comes to a point of being the go-to girlfriend of like, I'm going to be honest with you and I'm going to tell you everything that I do that has worked for me and what hasn't worked for me, because we all have to help each other, right?
Yeah.
Like, what is this life good if we don't share our experiences
Right.
to help each other?
Right. Yeah. That's great. Yeah. Own it and don't be the one that.
Yes.
Yeah. You don't have to hide what you're up to. Right?
No.
Yeah. That's right. So you're still very public and you're out and about and continue to build your own brand. Do you have any best practices or habits to keep yourself grounded?
That's a good question. I think boundaries are very helpful.
Yeah. What does boundaries look like for you? What does that mean?
Just trying to be present with I'm still learning boundaries.
Okay.
But then also not feeling I get overwhelmed easily. I have ADD and Tourette syndrome and I have anxiety and I have depression and all these things. And so it's easy for me to get overwhelmed. And so I have tried, some of my best practices have been, if I'm feeling overwhelmed, if there's too much on my plate, then I will stop everything.
Okay.
I'll try to ground myself, be around like my people, my home, my things, what gives me solace, what gives me comfort. And I put my phone down, right? Yeah. Sometimes I get all these messages and they're all wonderful messages. Like it brings me so much joy when somebody says, I love that story you post. Oh my gosh, your dog looks so cute today. How are you doing? We miss seeing you on TV. It makes me so happy. It brings me so much joy to know people care. But then sometimes I feel like I need to respond to all those people. Okay. And I don't think they expect that. Right. You know, they know they're busy too. Mm-hmm. So I need to, and I'm doing better at recognizing that you don't have to respond to everyone. And sometimes just like acknowledge like, thank you, or, you know, letting it go is okay. Yeah. Because it is hard to stay grounded when you're constantly worried about other people's needs. Yeah. And, you know,
and you're used to being accessible.
Yes, exactly. Right? And I am a people pleaser. Yeah. It is a fault of mine. So I'm trying to work on that. Another
thing on the disc profile, I'm going to send you one, by the way.
I would love one.
You'll love it.
Yeah.
But high eyes, and you're definitely going to be this thing called a high eye. Disc, by the way, is like a little bit tighter, better business version of Enneagram.
Oh, okay. Oh,
so it's been around longer. And anyway, it's my horse that I ride.
Oh, I really want to do this.
But we talk about that, guys and gals. She's going to be a high eye, and one of the Achilles heels of a high eye is that we're people pleasers.
Yeah.
So you think you got to make everybody happy.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's fun until it's not. Right? It's fun until it's just too much, because you like to interact. So that's a natural.
Off of people's energy.
You feed off of that.
Yeah.
Some people drain by being around others. Some people charge by I get the sense you probably charge by being around others.
But I do still need me time.
Yeah.
I call myself an extroverted introvert because I charge by being around other people, but then sometimes I've reached my limit. And I think that comes with my anxiety, and that's when I just need to be home with just my people.
Yeah.
But I know when those feelings are happening.
Well, that's the next thing I'll say. It's great that you recognize that.
Yeah.
You've got a way to recognize it. Some people don't.
Well, trust me, it's not easy.
And even when you mentioned the ADD thing, I'm telling you, man, ADD is a curse as a kid, but as an entrepreneur, it's a blessing.
I agree.
It is a blessing. And so I guarantee you, if people sit in that chair all the time, every one of them's going to say either ADD or ADHD.
Something.
And it's if you're in charge of yourself, it allows you to do a bunch. And
I always say that. I say our disabilities are little things that make us different, are our superpowers.
Yeah. That's so good. Okay, let's start wrapping. So where can people follow you and support you on what you're up to now?
Instagram, just my name, Nikki Burdine, NIKKI, BURDINE.
Awesome.
I'm also at my website, nikkiburdine.com. You can reach me there if you are interested in media coaching. You can buy my book there. I'm happy to sign you a copy and personalize it. I'm on TikTok. I have fun on TikTok. I'm still figuring it out a little bit, but yeah, social media is probably the best way to find me.
Okay. And if someone listening out there and they've just experienced their unexpected career change, what would you say to them?
I'd say get your people.
Okay.
What do they call? Circle the wagons.
Okay.
Get your people around you. And then make sure you have their support. Get them to tell you that they love you and you're going to be fine, because you are.
Right.
Right. And if you can, don't jump into something else immediately, if you can.
Okay.
I understand not everybody has that privilege. Mm-hmm. You know, sometimes you have to jump right back into work. But maybe do something that is not going to take up a lot of your time and your energy. If you just need to get another job, do something easy and quick. I always told my husband, I was like, if I ever leave news, I'll just go work, like at a coffee shop. Like, I love, I'll just go do that. That'll be great.
Yeah.
So do something like that if you need to. If not, take a beat and really think about what you want to do. And then make a list of all the people you admire and all the people who are doing something that you want to do. And ask them to take you to go to coffee or to have a phone call.
That is great advice.
And say yes to all the meetings. I have never been this busy in my life. The people that come out of the WorkWorks that you said see your transferable skills and want to talk to you and want to help you. Mm-hmm. It happens. People want to help. They want to reach out. They want to support you. So just say yes to those conversations and then ask others.
Ask others and don't be afraid of that because most people want to help. And
they do.
Everybody's got a journey. If you've got an unexpected career change, you ain't the only one. No. We've all done it.
Absolutely.
We've all done it. So.
And try to make a list every day of things you want to accomplish.
Yeah.
My husband, whenever I got fired, he gave me a notebook, and on it says Nikki's unemployment journal. And he was kind of joking, but he was serious. He wanted me to every day write a list of things that I wanted to accomplish. And it can be as simple as like, mail something at the post office or make my bed today.
Yeah.
But make a list of 10 things that you want to do that day.
Just be active.
Just do something.
Mm-hmm.
Most people have no problem.
Sounds like you married well.
He keeps me aligned. I found my person for sure.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Thanks a ton for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
This is a lot of fun.
I always feel so weird in these because I talk so much and it feels very self-gratuitous. So
you're supposed to talk.
I know, but it feels weird. It feels weird.
Well, you're well prepared to be sitting in that chair for sure. But
thank you.
Thanks a ton. I can't wait to keep watching you and seeing what you're up to. And
thank you.
You're literally just getting started.
Will you be my business coach?
Hell yeah, I'll be your business coach. Let's go. Guys, that'll be it for today. If you liked the episode, tell everybody. If you didn't like it, don't tell anybody. I'm just teasing. I hope everybody loved it. And stay well coached. We'll see you next time. Well, guys, that's a wrap for today. We thank you a ton for listening and looking forward to the next episode where we'll continue this journey on how becoming corporate enough can put you in your highest productivity zone to create a successful, profitable, and purpose-driven business for you.